So you want to go out and film, right? Well, you got to learn what you're doing first. Just like whenever you go to drive a car one day, you have to learn how to operate that car and know the rules of the road before you go out and drive. So, same thing with the equipment. You're going to watch this video, then you're going to pass the test to be able to go out and film. So, if it's your day to film, the first thing that you're going to do is head over to the sign out station, sign out whatever equipment you're going to use. That includes your phone if you're using that.
You can also use your phone and the QR code to sign out the equipment. If it is your turn to go out and film and you need a microphone, you will find the microphones are over here. The ones on the stand are the voiceover USB mics, and we'll look at those in a minute, but the ones you want for the cameras would be in the smaller of the two plastic drawers. And you can see here on the third and fourth shelf down, they are labeled. If we open that up, we can see this is the brown mic. It has brown tape on it. It is in there neatly. It is wire tied neatly and then put back. That's where you'll find it.
All right, so if you're using one of these cameras and connecting a microphone to it with the Canon cameras, those are the only cameras that connect to a microphone. When you open it up, there's a mic port. Just do that. Now, here's the important thing. You're going to know that the microphone's working when you see the audio bars bouncing. So, like right now I'm talking into it, you can see those audio bars bouncing. That's how you know your mic's working. Now we have another kind of microphone too. This is called the USB voiceover mic. It has a little mini tripod attached to it. It stays here in the stand also. As you can see here, this microphone has a USB connection, which connects into your computer if you need to do a voiceover on your computer for your videos. The USB voiceover mics are also kept wire ties. Keep that Velcro tie on there at all times. That way it's always with the microphone. Whatever you do, do not strangle the mic with the cord. So many people do this, don't even realize they're doing it. It's bad for the microphones. Here's why. A lot of people think it's okay and a good thing to do this when you're wrapping it up. That's actually a bad idea because that cord is going to get frayed over time. So that's why I have the wire ties on here.
So when you need to wrap your cord, you can wrap it loosely around your hand. And then once you have a nice little circle, you kind of pinch it to make a figure 8 and wrap the wire tie around it. We now have some microphones that connect directly to your phone. They are going to be kept behind the desk. You must ask to use them so we can keep better track of them. They come in a box. They have indicator lights to let us know if they need charged. There are 2 mics in each that clip onto the shirt of the people, you and the person you're interviewing. And these particular ones will connect to both a C and a Lightning. So these work for the new iPhones, for the older iPhones. They work for my Pixel. That's what I've been using to film this. And anything else that takes a C charger or a Lightning port.
When you're using one of the clip-on microphones to plug into your phone, it is very, very important that you do a mic check. The reason why is we have found that these sometimes go in and out. They're not the most reliable. So before you go out and film, do a mic check, meaning plug it in, tap on the microphone, talk into it, just say like testing 1, 2, unplug it, play it back, and make sure it sounds really good. Because if you do an interview through the built-in microphone on your phone, it's not going to sound so good. So test it out. It will be crisp and clear. If it is working, you'll be able to hear the little tapping that's happening on the microphone. To record on these, all you do is hit this button right here. You'll see a red dot on the screen. When you see a red dot on the screen, it's recording. It shows how long it's been recording for. To stop that recording, just click that and it goes away. Now, if you're just filming footage and you're not using a microphone, then sign out one of the Panasonics. That's the pink and that's the blue. It works pretty much the same way. You open it up, When you open it up, you can see what you're recording. Just click that to record. There's the red dot. Stop recording, same thing. If you're ever recording yourself and you're using a tripod, these flip. That's what's pretty cool about that. So you can kind of see yourself as you're recording. The Canons do the same thing. Again, make sure you're putting it in the right spot. Blue camera, blue spot. Find the cord, don't be lazy. I have all the cords marked. You got to keep everything charged so when the next person uses it, they don't have a dead camera. So be considerate of the next person using it. The charging port's going to be right there on the side on the Panasonics. Okay, you might have to look where the chargers are on them. For the Canon cameras, they're on the side, so it's okay if you turn the camera on that side. The only camera that happens to not charge, that you don't have to plug in, is the orange one. And the reason why is over time, this thing just kind of got beat up, and anytime we plug something in, or we plug the charger back in, it's just real loose. So here's what you need to do if you go to use the orange camera and you open it up and there's no power and it's dead. Switch the battery. This is the battery for it right here. So we charge our battery right here. All you would do is use this little slider to do that. It pulls right off. This is charged now. This is ready to go. So you would just click that right on. Open it up. It should auto power on. When it auto powers on, you're good to start recording.
We've got 5 cameras, and the only 2 that you have to connect to a wire would be the yellow camera and the pink Panasonic. The other 3, you must change their battery.
If anything happens to not be put back correctly, I'm going to know that you were the last person who used it when you sign it out, and you'll be banned from using the cameras for so many days. If something is wrong with the equipment, put it here in the out of service bin. Now what I have here is a QR code for you to scan with your phone, and it would just be a short description saying what's wrong with the equipment rather than going into detail with me face to face. You put it in here, then this is kind of out of operation. And listen, if something happens to the equipment, that's okay. Doesn't mean that you're going to be in trouble for it. It just means that you're saying that there's something wrong with it. And that's the responsible thing to do. If you happen to grab a camera and it's got one of these little mounts on there, keep that mount on. Reason being is if you try to force it off, that's going to strip the screw over time. So I know it might be a little bit annoying when you're doing that, but I'd rather that a little annoyance be there than have these go bad and then we can't mount them onto tripods.
We have 4 tripods that you can use when you go out to film. You can sign it out the same as any other equipment. They are color coded, so the red, the yellow, and the blue cameras all have mounts on the bottom that you can see. Do not remove the mounts, but they connect them to the cameras. They're all a little different if you need assistance attaching it. The yellow one is very complicated. If you don't line up the arrows, it will get stuck and then I will not be happy. So please either ask for help or follow the arrows you should see. Some of our tripods have mounts over here in this drawer for your cameras. So in this phone stand connector, this has a mount for the yellow one. This has a mount for the red one, and as I already said, there's a mount that's usually attached to the purple camera. So you are welcome to use these. It helps give you good, steady videos. You can also smoothly move the camera around in a more steady way than you could if you're just holding it with your hand. When you use your own phone to record video, you want to be sure to hold it sideways, horizontally. That way you get the same widescreen effect that you would see on a TV or a video screen or a computer monitor. The other way to hold your camera is up and down. When you put it on a wide screen, such as a computer, or when you put it in WeVideo, you've got a problem because it is not going to fill the whole width of the screen. So you want to be sure to hold it horizontally. 2 things that you must have with you when you go into the hall and film. Number 1 would be these lanyards. They're basically a hall pass. You can see they hang here next to where the cameras are. You would need a walkie-talkie, and this is so if we need to get a hold of you or if you need to get a hold of us, you have a question, you can do that. So you can see they're color coded and put them back in the right spot. To use them is really simple. You press the button and hold it, the power button, until it turns on. When it's time to use it, when you need to speak to us, you hold the button in on the side. Wait a second and then start to speak. When you are done speaking, you let it go. If you're holding in the button, you cannot hear us. If you are not holding in the button, we cannot hear you. So you need to make sure that when you're speaking, the button is pressed in. When you're not speaking, you have let the button go. There's a volume buttons here. If you need it to be louder, and to shut it off, you just basically hold the same button to turn it off. At the top is where you would charge it, and always make sure they're plugged in so the next person can use it and not have a problem.